Hey Omies, I'm Stephen Ewashkiw, and this is an adventure yoga pose breakdown for Bakasana, also known as crane pose. This is the straight arm version of that weird arm balance that we see all the time in yoga. So we sometimes do it with bent arms, sometimes we do it with straight arms. Crane pose, or Bakasana, that's this version, it's the one with straight arms. Do you need any props today? I don't think so. I'm going to use a yoga mat, and I'm going to guide you through this. If you want to learn more about the pose, there is a whole blog post all about it, and there's a link to the blog post in the description for this video. So you can click on that once you've watched the video. All right, unroll your mat, and I'll meet you there in just a couple seconds. To practice Bakasana, or crane pose, we start here in Malasana, or at least the variation of Malasana we do most often. So feet flat on the ground if possible. Bring your arms in front of your legs and bring your hands together in Anjali Mudra. So this is what we're going for. Feet flat, hands in Anjali Mudra, Malasana. If you can keep your feet flat and walk them together, or get them as close together as you can while keeping them flat, that's gonna give you a really nice solid grounding in your feet when you come up into the pose. Place your hands on the ground in front of you so they're about shoulder distance apart, and so that your wrists will be parallel to the short edge of your mat. It'll be easier to tell if that's happening once we do the next step. Push down through your hands, lift through your butt, and then lean forward and lift your heels. If that's hard to do, which it's hard to do for me, you can stretch your arms forward a little as you start to lift your butt as a sort of counterbalance. Then work to have your legs on the back of your arms, pretty high up. Then here, as you start to lift your hips, lift your heels and lean forward, you can check out your wrists, start to see if you've set up your wrists parallel to the front of your mat, and if not, just adjust as necessary. Push down with your hands, and then stretch your chest forward. Squeeze your arms in and push down with your legs and lift through your core. Lean forward. Bend your knees so that you can bring your feet off the ground, keeping your elbows bent. This is Kakasana, or crow pose. And then to go from here into Bakasana, we need to straighten our arms. So push through your hands, and as you straighten your elbows, lift through your core to help lift your hips up as you straighten your arms. If you can bring your inner edges of your feet together here, do. And hold for about 5 breaths. Stretch your breastbone forward. And then when it's time to come out, you can float back to Chaturanga or exit as you entered. Just bend your elbows, bring your feet to the ground, heels down, hands to your heart, back to Malasana. And that's Bakasana, crane pose. And that's Bakasana, or crane pose, the straight arm version of this arm balance we practice a lot. I hope this has helped you start to understand it a little bit more. I know this is like a dream pose for a lot of people. It seems so elusive. The key is really to lift your core, lift your hips, so that you can straighten your arms without the weight of your body pushing down on you. If you want to learn more about this pose, this video is part of a blog post, so you can find the link to that, to Adventure Yoga Online, in the description for this video. That's why I keep pointing down, it's where the description lives. So you can find that, click on it, and read about the differences between this and the bent arm version, read about the benefits, the contraindications, or the things that you might want to limit your practice of this pose if you've got like injuries. We'll talk about that. There's also a ton of modifications to help you access the pose when it's a challenge, because it is a challenge. If you'd like to do a full class with me, there is the perfect class to go along with this. It's an arm balance class, and we'll get working on some flying. So click on that, do it now, or add it to your watch later list. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, please just click my picture over there to subscribe. Thanks, Omies. If you've got any questions, stick it in the comments below, and I'll get back to you. See you soon.